Okay, good day, everyone. Before we start, we have a disclosure, and it is very important to know that there is a risk in the future trading. We are sharing our signals for free, and please, whatever decision you make in the future trading is on your own. We're not responsible for your trade. We're just sharing the signals. So let's cover what's going on right now. Actually, earlier today we started around 8:30 this morning Eastern time, and now it's 9:31. The market open, and I like to highlight something is very important. The first 10 minutes is usually turbulence in the market, and this is where most of the traders make mistakes in the trading. So today, I'm taking advantage of it. I have a little free time, so I'm taking advantage of it to try to help those traders. They need a second opinion. Our opinion should not influence your trade, and we're pleased we're not responsible for your trade. Is it just a second opinion? You're very welcome. We share our opinions, so please, you're on your own. We're not calling the trades for you. At the moment, as you see now, the market's open is 9:31 a.m. Eastern time. We started our auto trades on the right column here at around 8:30 this morning. And if we notice right now, yes, the direction is to the downside without a question. But here is the problem right now on the future trading. Those are based on 1 minute. For the one they don't know how the system works. If we see we have a sell entry here on the ES as an example from the market analyzer, you have an entry 2715 target 2711.75. Fair enough. This is the target, and if we notice right now, all the future markets has hit the target. So what does that mean? That means there is no more a downside. There is could be going down another 10, 15 ticks. How would I know? But right now, taking the short trade at the opening right now, it is very dangerous, and your trade most likely is not going to happen. So if we are looking here, I'm trying to use simplify that. I don't want to use a complex chart. What I'm doing here, I'm using basic the ES, Nasdaq, and we can flip flop it on the YM. If we look at the YM, we hit the target on the chart right there. If we look at the Nasdaq, we hit the target right in target. And let me go back to the ES because we are going to cover only three instruments: ES, Nasdaq, and Dow Jones. So if we notice right now, we have the targets has hit. This is a very indication that the market is going short. And and then if we notice right now on the Nasdaq, what happened? Let me see. I hope because on a live YouTube, the quality, the picture is not superb. But if we notice here on the market analyzer, as an example, on the Nasdaq, we have 68.48 is sell entry. Fair enough. We have a target 68.31. We already hit the target. Fair enough. Between those two lines on the Nasdaq, we have re-entry is the safe entry, re-entry, because here is the most problem future traders do. If we notice, we have a re-entry on the Nasdaq is 68.47. So if we look here, we have the re-entry, and if we notice here, it is the market hit the target, pulled back to the re-entry. And if we notice the same story all over the future market. So it is very critical on the ES right now. If we look at the ES, the key right now on the ES, folks, we already hit the target. What does that mean? We already hit the target. That means profit taking. It's very simple. So those numbers are not just a simple indicator. There is over 6,000 line of code and just for the target. So right now we are about to get a new signal. because this is the key right now. If we notice on the Nasdaq, Dow Jones, those are the key. For the guy is using the automated trading, you already have around. You had on the Nasdaq here, we had almost $1,000, and the auto trade, the normal auto trade, has not closed it. But if you wanted to close this 3 minutes chart, you need to close it because the signals are about to change on those trades. So right now we are getting a new signal. If we notice on the Nasdaq and Dow Jones, we can see where are the keys, and this is the most important. Is even if you are automated trading, you say this is not my problem. It's fair enough. We're not gonna bother you with a price action, but at least that number here on the ES, you need to open your eye. The number is 2717. On the YM, the re-entry point is 24795, and the Nasdaq is 6847. Here is the problem. If this market rejected from those numbers, that means this market is going back down again to retest those. It's going to go right back to the target. If those numbers got penetrated, that's mean right now we are going to the long trade. And this is a very key in this business. Another things in this market right now, we have something called the true average. So right now we have two problems on the Nasdaq. We have the re-entry point and the true average price. The true average price, those are on all futures, which is 68.46. The 68.46, this one here is divided between this personality between short and long. I'm trying to simplify it. This is the key between changing the attitude between, this is the true average price, which anything below that, you have to think short. Anything above that, you have to think long. This is calculated, if you wanted to know, is based on your 10 and 50 days moving average and 200 days moving averages, because sadly in the automated or any kind of future trading, whether you are on an ES, Nasdaq, Dow Jones, once this market hit below that 10 days moving average or below that 200 days moving average, the whole attitude for that market has changed. The whole momentum for that market has changed. So if we notice right now, we don't want to complicate the trade. We only need to keep our eye on the 4 lines. That's it. So if we're looking here on the NASDAQ right now and the ES, they both got rejected from the safe entry. And now we are going down again to the target. And that it is really, really important to see how the outcome for those trades is going to happen. So we notice right now there is a sell, but at the moment right now, it is a very critical area to take any short trade in this area, because this is a very, very critical area now to take short. Uh, this is anything below those targets here. It's going to be your trade. Uh, it's not going to be it's, I mean, stand B in your trade 7 or 8 out of 10 right now by taking anything below those numbers, those targets here. It's going to be critical, because if we notice here, we simplify that, we have 2 yellow lines here. And those 2 yellow lines here is, let me take this one out of the way. It's gonna, those are the critical level. That's mean it's not overbought, oversold indicators. I don't believe in that. But on based on the price action now, if we notice we are coming to extreme area where this market could be the sellers pushing few ticks here and there, but this is the area where you need to be watching out for taking a short, because it's not in your favor if you are taking those short trades. Because immediately we're gonna notice right now, let me try to open it. When everybody now trying to dive short, actually now we need to look for reversal. It's the opposite. It's not, if we notice right now, you see, I'm trying to make it bigger, because when we are on a live video on the YouTube's, sometimes is a bit fuzzy. And if we notice how the Nasdaq came into this yellow line, those are the critical area. And now we can see on the ES is pulling back and forth. This is a really critical area. So um, if we wanted to close position on an auto trade, this is the whole idea. If we wanted to close position on an auto trade, we say, as an example, I mean, you do not have to do anything for an auto trade. Can a close position or open position. But when you are open that auto trade to be able, when the market retract back and forth, you need to leave. As an example, the dummy trailing stop is not good for you. But let's say if you are trying to take a Nasdaq here by using those fib lines that can help you a little bit understand what's going on. And let's say if we wanted to look on the Nasdaq here, you see where's this Nasdaq? We expected that. Because in the future trading is not the indicator, is the first bar to the right hand side, the first bar. The key in the future trading is trying to predict. We cannot be predicting it 100%, but we're trying to predict where is this market going. What happened on the second bar on the Nasdaq is become irrelevant to the future trade or whatever happened in the past. So right now, as an example, you have the other system here, fully automated, is taking those trades. Now on the swing trading, of course, you need to leave this market to go back and forth. If you use a dummy trailing stop and your trailing stop is very tight on it, then you will be stopped out immediately on the first pullback. So this is for every bumper, there is another bumper. So what we're trying to say, if we notice here in that area here, if you have a very tight trailing stop, you would have been out of that trade right there. So that's why we need to leave a little room for the future market to go back and forth. Because if you're trying to grab big fish in this trading, we need to leave it a little bit and try to allow that chart to go back and forth without getting in trouble and try to get the trend. One of the things is in every future market, this is the problem. We know the CL is going to spike today, uh, but we don't know where, when. We know the Nasdaq is going to spike a couple hundred ticks here and there. We don't know if it's going to spike. Nobody knows, folks. If it's going to be at 9:29, 1 minute before the market's open, or 9:35, 5 minutes after the market open, or 45 minutes before the market close, or during the lunch hours. We don't know. We don't know that. So the whole idea about the swing trading is once you grab a trade, once this market is moving, you grab a trade. Believe me, folks, this is the only trade is going to be happening today. The reason is, as an example, if we are taking this trade as an example, I mean, this is if we calculate it, this is over 100 tick right there. Once this market start trending and did the spike for today, what happened after 15 minutes when the market trended today is going to go sideways and start getting stuck in those channels. And this is where most of the future traders start getting in trouble if you are closing their eyes on the trade and they refuse to look at that chart. We don't want to teach price action, but we need to know how things work. How if we have a 100 tick spike on the CL, are you expecting to get another 100 ticks on the CL? No, sir, because once this market start trending and took the trend for today, it has to go back and reconfirm every single number, and that it is a problem. So uh, the whole idea about trade in the future is trying to catch the trend, and once we catch the trend, it is the trade for today. And this is, you have to think about it, that you should not be thinking about re-entering the market once you decided it is fair enough for you. So right now, here is the problem on the Nasdaq. We said the market came down to those yellow line. We are in extreme critical area to take any more short trade. Now, those guys now for the last 10 minutes, you can see this NASDAQ is going back and forth between the yellow line and the target here, target yellow line. And this is going to cause a problem for that trader and it's going to cause aggravation. That's why we are doing a live video. It's not a pre-fixed video. This is live. We predicted, if we noticed 10 minutes ago, that it was a critical area on the ES. If you rewind it, this video, you will find we predicted it was a false movement in the future trading because anybody can put a short trade, 100 contract, and disconnect that 100 contract seconds before it hit his number. So right now here, should we go short anymore? No. Should we wait on a new signal? Yes, sir. You should wait on a new signal because those critical area we should not be touching it anymore. If we are looking, let's see here. The same story. Let's look if we have a CL. We had a buy entry on the CL earlier today, and if we look on the CL, nailed 72 ticks, actually nailed 100 ticks, but now the CL start diving. So earlier it was over 100 ticks. So on the CL we had an entry at 67.13. Target was 67.90, 67.90, and the CL was 68. So it hit over 100 tick earlier today. So if we notice after the CL hit the target, where is the CL going back to? If you are a CL trader, is going. This is a little bit a cleaner area. The chart I left the CL without the fib line, so that will not confuse you. Now, if we look at the CL market analyzer, it's 67.73. This is your re-entry point, and this is the key for that CL. So now let's watch the CL and see if this market is going to be projecting from the 67.73. If the 67.73 has not holding, that means we are looking for a new signal and it's going to be a short trade. And this is keys. Those keys in your future trading, whether you are a manual, automatic, you need to understand the key and the level and the futures. Without them, you're gonna be lost. Indicator that become irrelevant in the high frequency market. Look at the Nasdaq. For the last 10 minutes, it's been driving us crazy, going back and forth, back and forth. There is no trend. There is no trend. So for a guy is trading or auto trading, started at 8:30. Should I close it? Yes, close it. Or if you want to also on the auto trade, you can take over and say, well, you know what? I'm going to set up a level here and override the auto trade. I can do that. And then once you are done, make sure that you flatten out everything and you don't have anything at your broker. So you can override any kind of auto trade, whether it's ours or somebody else. You can write it and just a second. I'm sorry, guys. Apologize, guys. Uh, it was a phone call. So there we go. For now, we've been on the live for over what, we've been over 15, 20 minutes now is, yes, exactly. We've been 20 minutes. We started around 9:30, 9:29. This is around 20 minutes right now in the trade. And every single movement, if you rewind that video, every single movement we predicted. Every single movement we predicted. So right now, let's go back on the CL. Look what the CL happened, folks. We predicted that. The CL hit the target, actually nailed over the 100-day, and the market. Okay, this is here. I left it simple to explain a little bit about the system. And we have a new update coming. I'm going to show you how the automated trade takes. They all take the same entry. One is an ATM, one is an ATM strategy, and one is fully automated. And once I get this new update in the next couple of days for version 13, I will be demonstrating how you can doing it, and no optimization needed, nothing. We are done with the optimization and all that. So right now, as an example, this is the system. It's clean. There is no lines here. There is no fib lines here. So what is the system does? It gives you the entry. And if we notice here, the entry was all the way down here, 67.13. It gives you the target, and it gives you where you need to re-enter the market on based on the pullback. And then our trailing stops are not dummy trailing stops. Our trailing stops are the first trailing stop is a minor fib, floor and fibs line, support line. So what we are doing when the market is moving, we are moving based on the support line and the floor and fibs. The first one is minor, and the second one is major. Anything below that number here, actually, it is very, very enjoyable even to trade it manually. The reason is you don't need the auto trade because they are right in front of you, and you can decide which one you want to use, or if you have your own favorite indicator, you can add them together to have a second opinion, whatever. But you can make it automated, or you can copy those signals directly to any platform you have, whether it's NinjaTrader, Multichart, or TradeStation, or whatever you have, MT5. So they're not, you can take those signals to different platform. You're not jailed in one platform. So there we go. We can see we predicted again the same problem as when the market hit the target, a little bubble, and this is all fake. It's very important to understand the fake movement in the futures. And then exactly we came into the same levels. And we know right now the only time I will be taking a new trade on the CL, you have two options. Two options. One of them is to enter the market right above the buy-in entry right there. This is your re-entry. Or if you don't want to do that, take a trade based on a pullback, and then we'll wait till we get the new signal. And it's a matter of time to see if there is a new signal on the CL. One of the advantage between that system and that system, on that advantage here between this system and that system is going to be taking every single trade. This is a different type of an automated trading, because this one here is going to take every single trade, moving back and forth and all that. And this is where sometimes when the market uh, uh, goes sideways or gets stuck between a channel, that can be sometimes get any kind of auto trade in trouble. Where on that one here, on that system here, it is you are staying away from the noises in the market, and we are entering this market based on the entry signal. As an example, we took that trade as a buy-in entry. We hit the target, is done. Now there is nothing, no more trade. So all those sideways right now, all those, if we notice here on the CL, from 947 until now the market is sideways and getting stuck in that channel. That here is not gonna activate any trade because we are done with the long trade and now we are waiting on a short signal. So on that one here is always trying to enter the market, whether it's short and long, and then taking one trade and then hit the target, then you are off the market until we get the new signal. So right now, because you had a buy-in entry, you had the target, you nailed almost 80, 85 ticks out of that trade. Now we are not interested anymore in the long. As long as this market going sideways back and forth, this is nothing for us anymore. We only gonna be taking a new entry. So right now, this is left it here without all the fib lines, so will not confuse you. And we can see right now, um, since when we saw this CL pulling back from the entry until now, nothing happened to that CL. So we don't want to teach a price action, but this is very important if you are using whatever automated system. And let's say you are automated the CL, and now the CL is not making you money, then I can look. This is 1 minute. It's not one of those weird looking chart. This is not Renko bar. This is straight direct 1 minute chart. And there is no question about the trend about 1 minute. So on that one here, right here, we understand this market is getting stuck between the support line and the resistance line, and they are really drawn right there, right in front of you. And then I understand that auto trade, whatever your auto trade firm coming from, that we see that CL is getting stuck between those channels, and there is nothing we can do about it until those traders, uh, uh, the market movers, decided which direction that instruments are going to take it. Because today is Wednesday, the CL, of course, is going to be sideways for now. Let's go back on the ES. On the ES right now, we can see since when we opened this market, by now a lot of traders, or whether if you are auto trading or you are a manual trading, a lot of traders got themselves in a lot of trouble, and the reason is because when they at 9:30 the market was pointing down without any question, the market the trend was down, and there is no question about it whether you are using those out of date indicators, whether it's a MACD or ATRs or all those, they're all pointing down. There is no, but the things is, if we notice right now on this first 20 minutes in this market here, and if we look in here, nothing really happened except this market going back and forth and getting stuck in those channels. And we showed you the CL. And if we are looking at this one here right now, what did we miss in this market? If we are looking right there and looking right there, and here's your entry was right here. So what did we miss in those? Like, look, it's right there, right there. The market is, what did we miss in those? Nothing. There we go. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So right now we cannot do anything. It's just sit on the on. I don't want to take short, and that's why the short trade. When I first started the video, I said be careful with the short trade right now. It's not valid. If you have a light-handed, you're light with your hand, you're very fast with your mouse, yes, you can scalp the market 5 and 10 ticks from here and there, but it's not really a trade because you are taking a very high risk if you are taking the short trade and you're not aware what's going on. So right now here, I'm not touching it. And if we notice, the Nasdaq is still on that same automated trade, automated swing trading, and it's still the same, actually the same level between $1,200 and $1,300 based on one, two lots. So we are waiting on some kind of movement to see what is going to happen. Let's look at the ES 5 minutes. On the ES 5 minutes, we have a short contract. This is so. Let's see. We are waiting on. Let's look at the CL and look at the CL where it's been for the last 15 minutes. So if you are a CL trader, you can clearly, whether you are automated or you are a manual, you can see clearly where is the CL stopped right there. So should I go short? No, because the key right now on the CL, should I direct my auto trade short? Some of ours we can direct, some other auto trades you cannot. Of course, you can direct it from here, taking short or long on the buttons on the top. You can pose it, you can a close position. It takes one click to close position, or you can say long only or short only. But this is on a different type of an automated trading. So if you are a CL trader, should I go short? No, you cannot go short here. I don't care what kind of system you have. You cannot go short here. The market has confirmed it's stuck in those channels, and we're not interested in a short trade until we get the signals on that trade. Watch out for if it's any of our members. Those are your $35 zone, and you have a major support line at 6807.50. This is a major support line. Let's look on the ES. It is a wild open. There is not even a support line at the moment on the ES, so there is a good potential to come drop to 705.25. But on the NASDAQ, to our traders, for the ones who have the zone, your $35 zone, you're right there. Your support line was 2807.50. Let's go back on the CL. For the CL traders, I just dying to see that CL giving us a new signal. Let's watch and see. It's struggling. We need, if you notice on the left upper corner on the CL, this is total different system and have a signal. And this is also can confirm the direction on the CL. The signal is based on your all those junk, MACD, ATR, volatility indication, momentum. Each one of them has 10 indicators to bring you those signals down. And this is the signal based on all those basic indicators. We combine them to give you one signal. And then what we did, we give you two different market analyzer from 1 minute all the way down to 30 minutes, and this one here from 1 minute to 30 minutes. That can reveal the indication of the momentum, the pressure. It's like the pressure in your car, in your tire. We need to see the pressure to the downside in the market, or the pressure to the upper side. So this one here can little bit filter the direction of that market, because there is a lot of false movement in the future trading. What happened? Those guys, they know it. They know your levels. They know they know your stop losses. They know they lower you to take those trades short, and then the minute you get in the short trade, they take you back. They know your limitation from 10 to 20 to 25 ticks per trade. That's any normal trader. His stop loss is between 10 ticks to 25 ticks max. So it's known well. They know your levels. They know your stop losses. They know your direction, and they take you. They mislead you by dropping this market a little bit down here and there, And then once you jump in on the boat, you find out you're going on a different direction. So right now, if we notice on those instruments here, we are pointing down to the direction, the sellers over the buyers, and now we are trying to see what will happen. We can see this chart is start blinking. That means there is a sellers coming on the road here, and we are trying to push the last level on the CL, and you can see now they are pressing it to push this market down. And let's look at it. Now, if we look on the Nasdaq, it came into our support line, and there is nothing we can do. For an ES traders, let me go back and put the ES. We are way below the target. It's not acceptable anymore to go short. If you are on a trade, yeah, what the hell with it? But if you're not on a trade, you should not be taking a short. For the guys that like to scalp, we also have an arrow. You can take the arrows down if you want to, but this is a very risky trade. So we're waiting on a short trade on the CL. Look, where is the CL flirting with? The CL is flirting at that number on the major support line, and this is the last stop on the CL 67.71. We need to close below the 67.71. Let's look at it. Let's keep our eye on the YM because we cannot cover everything. This one. Okay, on the YM, we also have, okay, so let's go back. Yeah, okay. So we're using 1 minute, 3 minutes, and 5 minutes. Those are my favorite time frame. There we go, guys. We are about to have a new signal on the CL. You can see exactly what the CL flirted with, which number. For the guys to have sent me a lot of emails to go live every day on the YouTube, I apologize. I have some personal family things I need to take. There we go. We have a new signal. 67.72, your entry, your target 67.44, and your pullback is 67.96. If you are taking any of our trades or our signal, please make sure that you're on your own. We're not responsible for your trade. We're just trying to help you, and we're not getting any money out of it. We're not doing anything. So please, it is just a second opinion. If you want to take him on a sim or whatever, but we're not responsible for your trade. Right now, I'm in the second office, and we have a major clients also in Europe. But once I go back to my main office, I'll try to activate as many hours as I can on the live. We have a lot of emails asking us to notify everyone. I cannot notify a bunch of people, but I will try to find something when I get back to my main office, and we'll try to um, um, get everyone, helping every trader. It's been a very hard time lately, the trader, but it seems like when we are explaining what's going on in this trading, people start slowing down on their trade and not going left and right. Our idea, if we can prevent the trader jumping in the wrong trade and save himself a couple $100, that makes me happy. We are not sitting and trying to get rich here, but I'm trying not to call the trade for you, but what I'm trying to do, trying to prevent you to jump on the wrong trade. And of course, the decision is up to you. It's not up to me. I'm just helping a little bit here and there, and um, and of course, if you have a different opinion about the market, that's up to you. One thing here right now, if we want to, I try to take the fibs away from the CL so we can see how it is going. We have a fib line at 67.84. We know this is a resistance line, and we have another number here. Our moving average is 67.80. It's going back and forth, but it's not going to happen anything right now on the CL. It's going just right at the signal, and there is a little pullback, but this pullback is not going to be scaring me away. So let's look on the ES. If we're looking at the ES market, I'll keep the CL. I don't want to bother the CL. If we notice, we are right now way below the target. I'm not touching short trade on the ES. Let's look at the NASDAQ. Again, if we notice on the NASDAQ for our members, I warned the members 5 minutes ago that those are your $35 zone. And we are at 6807.50. This is a major support area. At the same time, we are way below the target. So there is nothing we can take a short trade right there. And actually, it is time to close that trade on the NASDAQ. So in that case here right now on the NASDAQ, how hard it is to close that trade on the NASDAQ? Uh, very nice. And let's look. You see where is this NASDAQ? Is right at the support line. So, and it is way below the target. And those two yellow lines here, they are a dead zone. They are a dead zone. So this is a very critical area. Even if the NASDAQ penetrate this one, it's not going to be able to penetrate that one on this NASDAQ. Should I close it around 2,000? Yes, I can close it around 2,000 on that trade and call it off. It's going to be rejected from here on the CL. Be careful, don't let it scare you. This is 2,000, okay. And then how long it takes you, you can push the button and close it if you want to, because there is nothing anymore on that trade. It's finished on this. But we'll see what will happen. I'm waiting for a new signal. If we notice on the market analyzer, we already hit the target ES, YM, NASDAQ. The CL is in the red because a new signal, and we have CL, DAX, gold, 30-year, and the 6E on the buy-in. So let's see what will happen. A lot of sell on the NASDAQ, a lot of trying to sell. Let's look at the ES. I'm gonna leave the NASDAQ alone. Okay. This is $1,000 on that trade. Is it gonna go any further than that? No. It's gonna pull back. You see where is those button? Close. I closed it. It's finished. It's done. So this is I maximize the, and one trade ES done. We started at we entered this market at 9:20. We are done, and now it's 10:14, and we are done with that trade, and it's closed. It's finished. It's over. And watch this one here, guys. Did we miss anything on the ES? Let's see. Did we miss anything on the ES? For the DAX traders, I want to, lately, because the volatility on the DAX, unlike also, you can use the 15 minutes on the DAX. This is right now the DAX trade. We enter at this is your 15 minutes. We entered the market at 9:30 And one of the tricks I like on the 15 minutes, you can overwrite your auto trade. And this is an example. We can say plus one tick. I'm a kind of guy plus one tick. What I'm trying to say here on the 15 minutes is now it is a free ride. I need to give a little space for the DAX. This is a huge chart, 15. By the way, the 15 minutes is an institutional uh, time frame. And this institutional time frame, it is 15 minutes, and they do not use NinjaTrader. They have their own platform. But I know they are looking at the 15 minutes, and I don't have an indicators on this. I don't want to complicate it, but I can exactly pinpoint what they're looking at. During those years, you can find out or pinpoint what they're looking at. But if you catch a trend, the most important things is do not use dummy trailing stop, because you're going to be stopped immediately on the first pullback or first. So uh, to me, if I need to, I can add fib lines on the 15 minutes, like what I have seen on the ES, like what we have done on the ES. And then I say, you know what, I'm going to maximize it, and I'm going to take it right at the fib line. And if we notice, folks, uh, this is a very good example. Two traders using the same auto trade. One guy nailed on that trade 1,000 because what he did, he only looked at the fib line. And another guy now stand closing at 1,000. Now he is 700 or 800. Should this market go back down? Hell, nobody knows, to be honest with you. So for some reason, as a trader, we always think like what the cow does, think is greener on the other side. I don't know what will happen now, but it is off my back and I'm done for today. You should not be being aggressive. Notice what happened on the CL. We said we have an entry on the CL, fair enough. I said I'm not worried about it because we have a fib line at exactly to the tick, exactly to the tick, 67.84. Folks, those are $35 zone. And if those zone can save you one bad trade, they can pay off themselves every month. One bad trade, just knowledge, it is very important. And it came in right to the tick. And now, of course, today is the Wednesday, and the CL is going to be, but I think the CL is not going to go above the 67.84, and we're still on that trade. Let's look on the Nasdaq to see what happened on the Nasdaq. We came into the critical area. Those are the two yellow lines. This is the critical area, and the same critical area you have on the top. So once the market goes to those area here, diving in, we should not be anymore looking for shorts, and maybe we can have a new signal on those. So let's look and see what will happen. Um, we're done with the ES on the 5 minutes. Let's look at the YM. Okay, on the YM, 5 minutes. We're still on that trade. Let me see what's going on the YM here. I have some fifth lines, and let me look on the YM. Oh boy, here, look at this, folks. On the YM, we came into this critical areas. Plus, those are not repaint signals. We have reversal signals and fire. The higher the number are, the more reversal, which I'm a reversal man. I love reversal, but I'm not going to be teaching on a YouTube a reversal, because if you don't know how to reverse this market, that can hurt you. So right now is a bit late on the YM, because if I was not occupied on the CL and the ES and I saw the reversal and saw those two yellow lines, the market hit those critical area, those two yellow lines, I would have closed it immediately, but I was occupied with the ES. But nevertheless, This is not bad at all, because right now I'm predicting we have, anytime you see double resistance, that means absolutely this market is going to reject from those area here. So I know exactly where is this YM going to the projecting from those area, because there is a double resistance. So I'm not trying to teach you price action. I'm just trying to show you those levels. Uh, don't say, oh, this is not me because I'm automated. No, because those can make a difference, at least knowing what this market is doing, knowledge, without being getting involved with the price action. But you know what? You can close it or you can keep it. If you are on that trade on the YM, I would have closed it. So let's look on the YM on the 1 minute. This is the same story. Maybe I'll leave the 5 minutes and maybe I will close or I'll leave it. I'm going to leave it. Maybe we can dig a little bit more on that one. Let's see what else we have. If we notice on the NASDAQ, earlier we had 2,300. Right now we are down to 1,600. You see? So two different traders using the same auto trade. On one trade, one trader can make $1,000 more than the other guy, could be. Or could be the other guy is more stubborn and the market decide to drop and he can make another 500 more. How would we know? We don't know. But the thing is, you have to accept what you're looking at and you say, if I'm closing my position, I'm not coming into the trade anymore. I'm done for today. This is more important than to try and to chase a wild goose. Um, so let's see what will happen in this market. Let's look at the CL while we are looking at the Nasdaq Dow Jones. Let's look at the CL traders. Folks, what happened to the CL? Nothing. 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 It came into the projection at the resistance line at 67.84 and fell. And now it's taking a dive. You can see exactly how the movement on the CL, and it's gonna sneak right in front of you all the way to the target. Absolutely. Another things also we can see, if I'm taking that auto trade and I'm not sure how to read the market, and I'm wondering if I'm in the right direction. As an example, uh, let me look what that auto trade is doing. That auto trade, what is doing? This auto trade took one trade, closed it, fine, it's going short. So what is telling us? This is a second opinion, we are going short. So I am in the right direction. So I can take the second opinion from the other auto trade, swing trading, and say, okay, boy, oh man, I'm in the right direction. So I'm a little bit feeling a little bit more ease. And now we are back to the entry target on the CL. Uh, watch this one here, folks. If you are a NASDAQ player, watch those area here. Watch those area here. It's going to project right from front of you, right there. Look at it. This area here is going to project right here, right now. Look at this. Look at this one here. So if you are thinking long, wait a little bit, few seconds. Let's see what will happen in this area. Why? Because here, look at this. We have the true average price right there. Come in. Right here. We have the target. There is a lot of trouble in here. And look, watch the Nasdaq, folks. Watch the Nasdaq. This is going to drive any trader crazy because this Nasdaq is going to be rejected from here and going back to the support area is 68.07. It's going to happen right in front of your eye. And now start pulling back, and this is the most aggravating for any trader. What happened to the CL? We are right on the clock with it. Right on the clock, folks. Let's look at the YM, what's going on the YM. We're still on the same pace. So now what we have, look at this, the NASDAQ, start taking a dive. Oh, how would we know that? Okay. So there we go, folks. Where is it going? To 68.0750. This is a major support area. What we're waiting for. Those guys, what they want to do with the market. I don't know what they are going to do with it. I have no clue. All what I can see here, the trend is up, the sellers over the buyer on the smaller time frame, and the mid time frame is practically equal between the buyers and the sellers. And so there is a mixed market. The momentum has changed, and there we go. The market is going down. This area here is not for me. So what we are waiting on that one here. This is going to be a lot of trouble today in the Nasdaq. Why? For me, if I want to trade maybe ES today, YM or Nasdaq, I can see there is a lot of problem. Why? I can read it immediately. A lot of problem. We are expecting a lot of problems on Nasdaq today. Not unless if something happened and the market decide to move. Here is the story on the Nasdaq right now, and then we jump on the CL to see what's happening. First of all, we have the true average price right there. Okay, has been rejected as expected. Then we have another bumper. We have right here, we have a minor resistance, major resistance, and a re-entry point. This is the second problem we're going to have in the Nasdaq. Then the buyers decided to break those areas. Fair enough. What we have, after we are done with all those trouble, the market is going up here. You have a double resistance. This is a problem. Once you are breaking this area, we follow in by double resistance one more time. This is going to be trouble on the Nasdaq. Then we have a major resistance, and then by then we are in the critical area. So what I'm expecting, I cannot predict, guys. I don't have a crystal ball, but right now I need to, whether I'm an automated or a manual, I need to approach that Nasdaq a little bit more carefully because there is volatility on the way coming to Nasdaq. So there we go. As expected, this Nasdaq going back and forth between support line and the true average price right there. And you can see it where it came right there. This is a trouble. Then we have another trouble, and then we have a bunch of resistance right there waiting on us. So this is really right now, it's gonna be, watch the Nasdaq. Let's look at the CL to see what's going on. Also the CL now because inventory on the CL. Look, where is the Nasdaq? Let's watch where is this Nasdaq. Look, here is the auto trade for the Nasdaq base on 1 minute. They're trying to break those areas. Let's look at it. It is very important that bar close above those areas. This is a really critical area. Let's see if it's going to close above. Okay. And here is your problem right there. Keep your eye on the Nasdaq, please. Look, this is a 1 minute chart, folks. This is 1 minute chart. Okay? Look, where is this number? This is next to it. I'm watching the other automated system is taking the Nasdaq, and let's see what will happen. Where I need to close my position. This is a really bad area. Okay, they're pushing it. That's fine. Fair enough. Good. Now we crossed the true average price, 68.1875. Let's see. Now we have this problem as expected in this area right here. Right here. This is the area now we have to worry about. Right there. For you. Out of direction. Right. Let's look at the ES while we're waiting on the Nasdaq. If we notice what we've done, we closed the ES earlier. And if we notice, look where is the same story where the ES rejected from that yellow line. See? Is this gonna help the Nasdaq to break those lines? Nope. Now the inventory is over on the CL, that's fine. ES, Nasdaq. There we go. The ES got stuck, got rejected, and the Nasdaq fell. Come back to the same level, 68, 18, 70. Um, we've been over an hour, folks. I need to go with a bunch of support waiting, and so please be careful with your Nasdaq trading. God bless you all. Thank you very much, and see you another day.